What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm James.
I'm Stephanie.
And we are Sea Salt and Pine. And today what we're going to talk about is RV parks. So if you've been following us for a little while, then you know that we are wintering in Florida. And more specifically, we are wintering in the sort of upper middle portion of Florida. We're near the Villages, if you're familiar with that. If you're not familiar with that, it's a retirement community down here in Florida that spans 3 counties. And so, not to get into detail on that, but that's the area that we're in. When we arrived in November, we were happy to get down here and everything was great. And then as we kind of settled in, we quickly realized that the park that we're staying in is not perfect.
I mean, there's no perfect park. But if you're going to spend a long period of time, because normally I think the longest we've ever stayed anywhere was like a month. But if you're staying a long portion of time, you probably want a little bit more than what we have here. So these are things that we're learning along the way. And yeah, so we decided that we need more. So we started researching.
Yeah. We'll get into all the details as soon as we get back, so hang tight. Okay, let's get into the details of what we're talking about today. And then we'll get into the criteria of our search process and the areas and all that stuff. But essentially the reason why we decided that we need to look for something different was because when we showed up, the park we showed up to, while it's clean, there's no riffraff or anything like that.
Quiet.
It's safe, quiet. Location's not the greatest. There's not much around us, but it's not bad. We found out that it's a little pricey for... Okay, it's a lot of pricey, I think, for what you're getting, right?
I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that. But we just basically, at the bottom line, we feel like we know what we want now. We want, like, more homey feeling. So we're...
Right, yeah. While we're wintering, right? I think for us, we kind of sort of view this as, in a weird way, a vacation from RVing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Even though we're living in the RV while we're wintering. But we wanted something to have more of that homey feel, something a little bit more luxurious, if you will, but not crazy.
Yeah.
So
the place that we're staying at right now, again, it is quiet, it's clean. Like, it's just that it's kind of like we heard another YouTuber, they explained it the perfect way. It's like a parking lot. There's like no trees. It's just like wide open.
No landscaping.
No landscaping.
Not really too many amenities.
Yeah. I mean, there is a heated pool and the laundry room is really nice. But now that we've explored, we know that we do want a little bit more than what we have here.
Yeah.
So
that kind of, and then on top of all of those things, right, we do have a 13-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
And so we really started thinking about her in this process too. And where we are right now does not offer a whole lot for her.
Because it is a retirement community, because we're right near the Villages.
Right.
So
I guess hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
Well,
you live and learn, right? These are all learning experiences for us.
So that led us on this journey to find something different. So what we did is we decided to start by area and just see if we could find another reservation somewhere else in winter in Florida. And we'll get into whether we did find something or not towards the end, so you got to stay tuned. But we're going to go through the list of parks that we visited. But before we get there, let's go through our criteria of our search criteria.
Yeah. So we were looking in the Orlando area. We decided that we just needed to be in a bigger city, not in the city, but like close access to it.
Yeah, well, not only for things to do, but really for homeschooling reasons, right? We wanted to get Addie plugged into a system.
And they do
So,
have a large homeschooling group in that area.
yeah. So that was the major. That really is the major reason we wanted to get somewhere else. So yeah, we decided let's try the Orlando area, and we knew it would be a long shot, but.
And then as far as, okay, so once we had the area down, we're like, okay, what do we want from the park? So we were just looking for something that had like more landscaping, more shaded areas, kind of like a more intimate feel in the way, like I was saying, just more homey, you know?
More pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did, for me, it doesn't matter, but James really wanted a concrete pad, which I do understand. It is nice to have the concrete pad. And
For maintenance reasons, right? When you need to do work, either on your truck or your RV or whatever, it's nice to have a clean space other than grass to work on. And yeah, just didn't get that here.
And then just a little bit more amenity wise. So
Right.
that was on our list of things that we were looking for. And then we went on, once we had the area and the parameters, we went on RV Life. And the good thing about RV Life is it gives you campgrounds in that area. So then James started going through a bunch of them. And then as he was, you know, they do rank them. But as he was going through it, I was also getting on Google and just doing like a deeper search on them. And then we had 5 that we had narrowed down to that we went to go see. So
we had 6 actually, but we didn't make it to 6 because it was a really long day.
Yeah.
It's about 2-hour drive for us to get to this location.
The farthest location. Yeah. And then we kind of worked our way back this way. So
I guess is that it? We didn't skip anything, right?
No, I also think that this is good. If you're looking in the Orlando area, I'm going to give you as much information as I can about the parks that we did look at, and hopefully it could help some of you if you guys decide that you want to winter in the Orlando area. I'm like a visual person, even though if I'm on Google looking at the pictures, sometimes I don't think that's a clear picture because that's what I did with this place. So I think sometimes it's good to have video footage live of the actual area itself. So, you know.
And it's more about feel for us.
Yes.
When you pull up into a location, an area, how does it feel? That's super important to us.
Yeah.
So that's why we made the drive to do this. So
the first place that we went to was the furthest from us. So I would say that would be the east side of Orlando.
Right.
And it was Hidden River RV Park.
Yep.
So the address for that one was 15295 East Colonial Drive in Orlando. And there were pros and cons.
We'll do that for each one, by the way. We'll do pros and cons of each one. And then at the end, forgot to mention this before, but at the end, then we're going to tell you our thoughts on all of them, basically our overall thoughts, and we'll give you our favorites at the end. So stay tuned.
So for Hidden River RV Park, the pros, they had gravel pads, which I think is a step up from grass. And there was a lot of shading in that area. But the park itself was very small. It wasn't, and so it was super tight. We are big. We're
40 foot.
Yeah, we're 40. So we also had to think about that. And there was no amenities.
Not that we saw. We weren't able to talk to anybody either because there was no office available.
There was no office available, but there was no pool. They may have a bathhouse and laundry, but I'm not sure. You might want to research that. I just didn't see any, but they may have it. But again, like when you pulled in, it was just like you just wrapped around in a circle and that was it. So
didn't look like there was much for dogs. Anything like that.
There was no dog park that we saw.
And then location-wise, it really wasn't close to much, which is not that big a deal. If we have to drive 20 minutes to get to a location, we're fine with that.
Right.
So that wasn't a deal breaker or anything, but it's not in a great location or anything. So
right. So that was that one that we went to. Oh, and the rates. Oh, here was another thing. So again, I told you it's small, right? You wrap around once, really no amenities. It's the rates vary from $925 to $1,200 monthly.
Yeah, that's just the rate.
And then you have to pay electric
Now
separately.
it's going to be that way for every single park that we know of in Florida if you're staying longer than 30 days.
Yes, you have the monthly rate, and then electric you pay separately, and they bill you for that. And then on top of that, if you're traveling, if you're full-time family, they charge you extra for every third and fourth person. So it's $100 per third or fourth person per month.
Right.
And if you have a pet, it's $50 per pet per month. So
Yeah.
the price, I think, also was a con for what you're getting. I felt like that was kind of
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
on the pricier
Absolutely.
side.
All right. Next on the list is Mill Creek RV Resort. This is in Kissimmee, Florida. The next couple we're going to go through are in Kissimmee, but Mill Creek RV Resort has quite a few pros. So there were shaded spots again in this one. They had great amenities at this park. We're talking everything from the heated pool to shuffleboard to a great clubhouse. Probably many other things that we didn't even see or that were missing, but seemed to be really great. The staff was pretty cool, and it was in a good location. I wouldn't call it the best location in the world, but it was in a good location, close to a lot of things. They do have concrete pads, which was one thing we were looking for. And then pretty close to fun attractions and shopping, like mentioned just a minute ago. And then cons for this park. It's really just that it's pretty tight. Everything's pretty close to each other, but it is very well maintained. It's pretty.
It was pretty. It was well landscaped, and it's also one of those parks where they have RVs and permanent structures.
Right. So like little, not cabins, but
what do you call? Oh, I don't know what they're called.
basically little rentals, like Airbnb rentals. The small. Why are we drawing a blank on this?
They look like little manufactured homes, really, is what they remind me of. Mini manufactured homes. But you see a lot of
tiny
them.
homes. That's it. Little tiny homes that you could rent or stay in. And they do have people that live in them too.
Yes. So they do have permanent residents there. And the permanent residents are the ones that live in those little like manufactured homes. And then there's an RV portion as well. So
yeah.
But even with the permanent residents, it is just so well kept. Like I don't know, I've been to a lot where they have permanent residents, and it's like this one was beautiful.
This one's nice, very
well kept, very well maintained again. So and the price, so the price
forgot
was
about
right.
pricing.
So it was $767 a month, and then electric obviously on the side. But I thought that was a great price for everything that you're getting there,
and no extra charges. So beautiful.
So then after that, we went to the Kissimmee RV Park, and that was also in Kissimmee. That's 2425 Old Violin Road. The front first thing that we noticed, it's gated. So that was definitely a pro. And then once they let us in through the gate, we got to talk to Joyce in the front office, who was fantastic.
She was great.
Yeah, so the front office, loved them. Another pro is there's concrete pads. They have good amenities. They have a dog walk area. They are building a dog park. So as of right now, they don't have a fenced-in dog park yet. And their location was probably one of my favorite locations. And location was great. And that's what I have for pros. Cons, again, it's tight if you don't have a deluxe spot in the back.
Yeah, and there's just not many of them. They have a new location that they kind of built out where the dog park's going to be in the back. That really only has like 6 spots available, 5 or 6, that are pull-through sites for larger rigs. And then they have a couple of back-end sites that are for big, larger rigs in the front of the park too. So really you're only talking maybe 10 spots.
Oh, another con is if you don't get one of those deluxe spots, it's not shaded. So those areas were shaded. but
Yeah.
the
Well,
rest,
I wouldn't call it super shaded, but
you
there
have
is
more
some shade,
shading
yes.
back there.
But and a lot more privacy back there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But the price for that one was $815.83 plus electric. But I will say it is higher, but you are way closer to attractions. You're
Yes.
closer to Disney. You're closer to Universal, if that's your jam. So all those fun attractions there, it's not. You know, I think you're paying just that little bit more to save, I guess, the gas.
Yeah.
To get to those places. So.
Yep. Okay. Next on the list is Encore Sherwood Forest RV Park. If you're not familiar, Encore is part of the Thousand Trails line.
Mm-hmm.
This one is also located in Kissimmee, Florida. Really good location.
Yeah.
Right next to a bunch of shopping
Mm-hmm.
and like really popular shopping.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, restaurants and the whole nine.
Even though you're close to shopping, the way they have it set up, though, you're like tucked in the back. So it's quiet back there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
All right, let's go through the pros of this one. Very well kept.
Yes.
They had some shaded spots, some not, just depending on what you get. They do have great amenities.
I want to go through these amenities with you guys because I was like, wow, this had the best amenities. They have mini golf, shuffleboard, ping pong, billiards, horseshoes, croquet, pickleball. And then they also have a jumbo chess set that was in the front, which I thought that was pretty cool. And then they also had a library, a fitness center. They have pool and hot tub. And they have a tiki bar.
Yeah.
At the pool. So
they do.
The amenities there were the most out of all of them.
And of course your standard laundry, bathhouse and
bathhouses.
stuff like that. Wi-Fi,
Okay. So with all that said, it was the most expensive park. So that one was. Now this is the 6-month rate, so I do want to also specify that these are 6 months rate. So if you get to Florida and you winter for 6 months, you get a special rate. So these are all based on 6-month winter.
That's how most of these parks do it, is on 6 or 12-month contracts, so to speak.
You can do individual month, like if you just want to do 2 months, it is possible. I mean, it's available, but the price is just higher. So these prices are based on the 6-month rate. So this one was $1,068, and then plus electric. So it's over the budget that we had set for ourselves, but I mean, it does have a lot of amenities, and
it does, yeah.
I feel like the location also was fantastic. So anyway.
By the way, this park had openings when we went there.
Yes.
They did
have several.
The other ones we talked about had no openings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's something to mention, is the Sherwood Forest RV Park did have 10 spots available.
Yeah, they didn't have nothing
deluxe or anything, but they had the standard 10 standard sites left.
Mm-hmm. And it's a huge, that one it was a big park, like when we were driving through.
It was huge, yeah.
It was huge, so.
Okay, and on to the next, Encore
and
Park.
this is the last one that we went to.
That's right. Encore Winter Garden RV Resort.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, once again, Thousand Trails. This is in Winter Garden, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, the pros for this one is location. Again, it's in a good location. Close to lots of things.
Winter Garden looks like it's a very ritzy area, suburb of Orlando, based on as we were driving through, like the subdivision areas that you're close to. I mean, those houses were
right.
Yeah, you're definitely in a more upscale area. So location wise, you are close to all of that. There were lots of kids.
There were lots of kids roaming around just driving through to get to the office.
Yes. So there were lots of kids in the park, and the amenities were good.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I personally did not like as we were pulling in, you have to pull off of a very busy highway. So it's like right on the busy highway.
Yes.
So
depending on the spot you get, you may have some road noise.
Yes.
And you may have trouble getting out depending on the time of day.
Yes.
But there are 2 entry and exit points to this
Right.
park too. So that's on 2 different roads.
Yes.
So that could be a benefit depending.
Yeah, I mean, the only drawback for me is we did stay somewhere where there was a lot of like road traffic noise, and I could do it for a period of time. Like we were there for a week and I was able, but I don't know if I was going to stay long term, for me, it just would not.
Oh no, it definitely bother you, right? If you're trying to hang out outside and relax, you don't want the road noise. It's just
So that one is
a
not
detractor.
We liked it, but that one we would only consider is if we can get a certain spot, which was the spots in the back that were furthest from the road. And so, and that one price wise, also was not bad. It was $789 monthly, and then plus electric, and again based on 6 months. So
Yeah, so pricing is good there.
yeah.
That was the last one, right?
That was the last one. We did 5. Now it took us all day to do those 5. So,
all right. Well, I guess we should tell them what we like, right?
So
which ones we actually were like, I would put my money into that.
yes,
right?
I liked Mill Creek as far as like landscape and atmosphere. Probably that one was my favorite because of the location and it was just.
See, it wasn't my favorite for location though.
It was pretty.
But the park, like Stephanie said, is very nice, well kept. So that piece of it, I was like, oh, this is very nice.
And I did see kids there. Not as many as Winter Garden, but I did see other kids there.
And, when you drive into Mill Creek, it has, remember we talked about feel at the beginning of this video.
Yeah.
When we drove in there, it just had a feel.
Like a warm hug.
Yeah. Just had like this feel of like home.
Yes.
So that's important to us.
And then I liked, so Mill Creek was my favorite, but I also liked the Kissimmee RV Park because location-wise, it was the best. I love Universal and Disney, and if I can just, get the pass and just go as much as I want for 6 months, that's like a dream for me. So location-wise, the only thing is there weren't a lot of kids. I didn't see any kids.
See, but we like this one, but only if we can get one of those back spots we were talking about.
That's true too. So that one was, and she said like you have to call, right away to get those.
We'll give you some tips at the end for how you can winter in Florida at some of these popular locations. So hang tight here. My favorite thing about that park was that it was gated. That was the only one on our list that had a gate to get through.
Yeah.
And that might not seem like much to you, but it's just another deterrent, right? For keeping people out that aren't supposed to be there. So.
Yeah. Which one was your favorite?
Oh, Mill Creek, as far as the feel. Yeah.
Which one was your favorite outside of, like, what was your second favorite then? Would that be then also Kissimmee RV Park because of the gate?
No, actually, for our overall situation, Winter Garden.
Yeah.
Because I have to keep my daughter in mind.
Yeah, and that one, it would only work as much as I would love.
Because what I didn't see at Kissimmee RV Park
were kids. Yeah. The only way that one would work is if we did get a spot in the very back, furthest from the road. I mean, if we couldn't get a spot back there, then I don't care. Like, all the kids could be there. It just wouldn't. I don't know. It wouldn't be enough to get me there. So,
as far as all the other ones, would we recommend all of them? I think I would recommend all of them except Hidden River.
Same. Just because it was almost, I think it was one of the most expensive ones, and you don't even get half.
Yeah.
Not even a quarter of what the other ones offer. So.
Yeah, and if you're willing to do the 6 months, I think Encore Sherwood has a strong.
Yes.
There's kids there too. So
there were kids there. Yeah. Again, it was. Could we do 1,000? The over 1,000. We could, because it wasn't that much over our budget. So I don't know. Like, I wouldn't rule it out. Because again,
it's not
the
ruled
amenities were amazing. It had the most amenities. There were kids there. The location was great. So
see, but if we wanted to do it now, because I asked the lady behind the desk about this, if we wanted a spot right now in that park, just a standard spot, just grass, nothing special, okay, it was $1,500.
Yeah.
So this is, again, the 6-month rate saves you a lot of money, right?
Yes.
If you just need month to month, it was $1,500 for a standard site.
Yes. It was
so
right
like,
here.
Whoa.
Yep. $1,500.
Yep.
So that's the monthly rate without the 6 months. So that's why if you're going to do it, I think I mean, obviously, if you're a Thousand Trails member, you're going to get the best deal. So,
yes.
But we are not Thousand Trail members. So.
Okay. Let's talk a few tips for you guys if you're looking to winter in Florida and never have done it before, and you want a popular area. Now, we can only speak for Orlando because this is the only experience we've had so far. But I would bet that most locations do it this way. So if you want to make reservations at a popular location, you need to start looking about that 11 or 12 month mark out.
The lady told us January. She said start calling January.
Yeah.
For, October. So call January.
I know that's 10 months, but you need to start planning about that 12-month mark and start making phone calls because they'll be able to tell you right there whether you should even try or not. And then the other thing to keep in mind is they change their rates every year. Or maybe they don't change the rate, but the rate, if they do change the rate, it comes out around January, February
time frame
every year. So they typically don't like to give out a whole lot of reservations last minute because of rate change. If you're looking to do a last minute reservation. So
my recommendation also, if you could do the 6 months, I think it's worth it. Like usually I think it's October to April is the 6 month wintering.
That's the season. Yep.
Yeah. So, I think that it's worth the 6 months to get that rate.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So they had two though. So they did October to April or November to May. So either one of those 6 month seasons would work.
Yeah.
So that'd be the next recommendation I would have.
Yeah. I know, by the way, if you're a Florida resident, you get an extra month ahead of everybody to make reservations at everything, right? So state parks and all those things. So, well, we do appreciate you watching. We hope you got some value out of this. If you're looking to go to the Orlando area to stay in your RV, these were the ones that we would suggest looking at. Everything else was either really expensive or not very good.
Yeah.
So
they didn't get good reviews. So we just ruled those out automatically.
If we miss something, if you are a Florida resident or you've stayed in the Orlando area and found a really good park that was not on this list,
let us know
for a good price. Please put it in the comments down below, because we actually ended up liking that area. We didn't know if we would, but as we were driving through, we were like, "Oh, this is kind of nice."
Yeah.
So,
surprisingly,
please comment down below.
And it wasn't as congested as I thought it was going to be. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people there. But coming from the Bradenton, Sarasota area, I felt that it wasn't as congested as that area, which was actually very shocking.
Well, we only went on one day, too. So
that's true.
You can't gauge it properly unless you go on a Saturday.
True.
So true. I don't know if that's a fair assessment, but still busy, nonetheless.
Yeah.
So, if you have any questions, please comment down below. We'd be happy to answer them. Again, thanks for being here with us.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we're trying to reach our first goal of 500 subscribers.
Yes.
And we just crossed the 300 mark not too long ago.
Yes.
If you're not subscribed, will you do us a favor? Please just hit the subscribe button for us. Even if you don't really watch regularly, that would help us out a ton.
Absolutely.
So we do appreciate you, and I guess we'll see you next time.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.